A sovereign, irrevocable decree from the divine does not consult the fragile construct of the human calendar. It simply obliterates the existing schedule and dictates a new reality. And for every soul that has endured the agonizing stillness, the silent, frozen winter of delayed hope, a profound truth must be assimilated immediately. The spiritual season has been violently and definitively changed by force majeure. What felt like an eternity away, years on the earthly schedule, has now been pulled into the immediate now. The entire cosmic infrastructure has received a non-negotiable directive. The ultimate deadline for this massive shift is Christmas. This is not merely an optimistic prediction. This is a confirmed spiritual reality, an energetic mandate. You have felt the crushing inertia, the unbearable, leaden weight of each passing day that brought no tangible forward movement. You have measured your life's value solely in the volume of your disappointments. But that was the expired timeline. That was the false reality before the great spiritual acceleration was triggered and unleashed. Overnight, the fundamental rules of engagement changed. And the first and most critical rule is this. Everything you have been patiently, painfully waiting for is now waiting for you, and it is moving toward you at an impossible speed. Chapter 1. The Divine Deadline. The universe operates according to sophisticated schedules you were never meant to fully grasp. There are designated timetables for foundational growth, for the internalization of lessons, for the processing of grief, and, finally, for the deployment of reward. For the longest period, you were held captive in a season of intense, brutal, and refining training. Felt ceaseless. Felt unjust, like a punishment you didn't deserve. Worse, it felt as though you had been deliberately forgotten by the powers above. This was a profound lie. You were not forgotten. You were being meticulously forged. The heat was deliberate, scorching. The pressure was monumental because the destiny assigned to you required a spiritual tensile strength, an unbreakable fiber that can never, ever be woven in the silky comfort of ease. You were not in a prison. You were in a pressurized, divine crucible. The slowness, the profound isolation, the sharp edge of the betrayals. These were not senseless acts of cosmic cruelty. They were the precise ingredients, the necessary alchemical elements required to forge a sovereign, unyielding spirit. The loneliness was not meant to crush you. Its purpose was to compel you to seek and find essential company in the divine, to rely solely on a source that could never, under any circumstance, abandon you. The betrayals were not designed to curdle your soul into bitterness. They were intended to sharpen your spiritual discernment to a razor's edge, forcing you to look beyond superficial masks and empty words, deep into the core truth of a person's energetic signature. Every single setback was a mandatory lesson in deep resilience. Every tear you shed was a necessary purification, washing away the parts of your character that were too weak, too soft, or too human for the monumental journey that lies immediately ahead. You convinced yourself you were being held in a spiritual prison cell. In reality, you were being held safe within a divine incubator, shielded from a hostile world you were not yet ready to conquer and from a world that was certainly not ready to handle the magnitude of your completed power. While you were fixated on the slow-moving clock on the wall, God was focused intently on the resilience being cultivated deep within your heart. You believed you were failing because you were not moving forward in a linear sense. The truth is, you were never meant to move forward in that way. You were meant to be forced deeper into the well of your untapped power, deeper into your inherent truth, and deeper into your unbreakable connection with the divine source. Now, that excruciating phase is over. It ended abruptly. It concluded without any formal, printed announcement, yet you have felt the seismic shift. A sudden, undeniable change in the spiritual atmosphere surrounding you. A strange, inexplicable sense of peace has landed right in the vortex of your usual anxieties. A quiet, certain knowing that something fundamental has broken, definitively in your favor. This feeling is the sacred sign that your old timeline has completely collapsed. It has been declared null, void, and superseded by the highest authority. You measured your existence against a fragile human calendar, ticking off days of perceived defeat and loss on a paper grid, measuring your self-worth by worldly achievements you were divinely blocked from attaining. But heaven operates by the calendar of the soul, a calendar measured in the currency of sheer courage, the depth of your faith, and the quantifiable number of times you rose again when every fiber of your being screamed to stay defeated. By this true, divine reckoning, your ascension day has arrived, and it is irrevocably scheduled with a divine deadline before the light of Christmas dawns. This date is not a random coincidence. It is a potent, symbolic, and energetic marker. Christmas is the time when the collective world, for a brief, powerful moment, willingly suspends its skepticism and genuinely believes in miracles. It represents the ultimate time of light piercing the darkness, a time of birth and revolutionary beginning. Your new, authentic life, your true destiny, is being brought forth and born into the world just before the world celebrates its own festival of light, serving as a testimony to what unshakable faith can truly produce. You are the living proof that miracles are not relegated only to ancient storybooks. You are the headline story plastered across heaven's daily newspaper. This acceleration is a sovereign, absolute act. It is a targeted intervention. The powers that be, the divine forces meticulously watching over the anointed ones, have completed their assessment of the situation on the ground. They have logged every attack waged against you, every delay orchestrated by lesser, jealous energies, and every spiritual blockade deliberately placed in your path. And a final, binding verdict has been reached. The verdict is simply, enough. This intervention utterly bypasses the supposed free will of those who chose to obstruct a divine blueprint. Their temporary power to interfere has been revoked. The delay game is over. The grueling training is complete. The enemy has profoundly overplayed its hand. They foolishly mistook your patience for profound weakness. They misinterpreted your kindness as simple stupidity. They convinced themselves that your stagnation was their irreversible victory. They celebrated your tears behind your back. They took your dignified silence as a final surrender. What they utterly failed to understand is that your required period of stillness was, in truth, a necessary time of immense spiritual power consolidation. You were not stagnant, you were actively being loaded. You were the divine arrow, drawn further and further back into the sacred bow of God. The tension was excruciating. The stretch felt like it would shatter you. And now the grip is released. You will not merely fly, you will shatter the sound barrier of what they thought was possible for you. The sheer speed with which things are about to materialize will be genuinely terrifying to those who lack the spiritual context to understand it. It will look unnatural. It will defy common logic. Opportunities that, by normal standards, should take months or even years to cultivate and negotiate will land squarely in your lap in a single, unbelievable day. Financial blockages that have plagued your existence for years will dissolve overnight, instantaneously. A debt cleared by a forgotten investment portfolio, a sudden, unexpected inheritance, a revolutionary idea that generates cash flow instantly. Relationships that were broken and fragmented will either be miraculously healed and restored or swiftly and cleanly severed forever to make room for your authentic divine connections. This is a spiritual flash flood. It is rushing in to wash away the toxic debris of your old life and to superwater the deep seeds of your destiny until they explode into spectacular bloom. Your single, primary job is to stay out of the way, to completely drop the crippling need to understand the how, and to immediately release the long-held trauma of the exhaustive weight. The wait is terminated. The deadline is irrevocably set. You are not running out of time. Time itself is now rushing toward you, carrying the entirety of your blessings in its current. They were convinced that this year would be another win for them. They assumed you would enter the holiday season just as defeated and broken as you were last year. They have no comprehension that they are about to bear witness to a coronation. They prepared for a victim. They are about to confront a ruler. This sudden turn is not a reward contingent upon good behavior. This is your birthright being restored, forcefully. The entire system of delay and spiritual sabotage has been shattered. The subtle spiritual laws that were being weaponized against you have been summarily superseded by a higher, overwhelming decree of grace. You are entering a period of divine favor so potent that your very presence, your aura, will feel markedly different to others. People will look at you and be unable to articulate why you seem taller, why your eyes possess an entirely new, magnetic light, why your voice carries an undeniable, new authority. It is because you are no longer operating on the slow, corrupted timeline of the world. You have been seamlessly shifted onto heaven's express lane. Get ready. The stillness is over. The silence has been broken. The release has been fully authorized. Everything is about to happen simultaneously. To anchor the immense energy of this divine acceleration and to formally accept this new, high-speed timeline, you are commanded to perform this specific sequence of actions. This is not a request for your participation. This is your required part of the activation protocol. This is your digital signature on a binding divine contract. First, like this video, this is not a vote for the content creator. It is a necessary energetic stamp. With this simple, physical click, you are sealing this profound truth into your reality, declaring to the universe, I accept this upgrade. I am ready for hyperspeed. This action instantly breaks any lingering, subconscious agreements you may have made with delay and stagnation. It is a physical action that decisively confirms a spiritual choice. Second, subscribe to this channel. This is not for future updates. It is to join the active collective. You are deliberately linking your energy with the global network of chosen ones who are being activated at this exact moment. Your subscription strengthens the essential grid of light, making the collective power stronger and your own path instantly clearer. When one rises, the signal is amplified for all. You instantly move from a solitary, struggling soldier to a recognized part of a divine army, marching in sync to the same cosmic rhythm. You are telling the universe you are no longer fighting alone. You are aligning with your tribe. Third, you must comment with the divine code 77. Do not, under any circumstances, underestimate the quantum power of this simple action. 77 is a master number, a high frequency of unparalleled spiritual wisdom and instantaneous manifestation. It is the signature mark of the divine architect. By typing it, you are inputting a clean, precise command into the quantum field. You are silently saying, execute the protocol of acceleration. My signature is 77. It is an act of spiritual technology, aligning your personal energy field directly with the frequency of accelerated miracles. Do not add any other words, emojis, or sentiments. The code is the confirmation, clean and undiluted. Finally, let this video replay in the background, even at a low volume. The frequency and intent of these spoken words are encoded with light. It will act as a subconscious recalibration tool. It will bypass your conscious mind's fears and doubts and saturate your spirit with the absolute truth of this new reality, systematically overwriting the old, slow programming of delay and disappointment. This is your assignment. It is a sacred sequence. Complete it now. Chapter 2. The symptoms of spiritual hyperspeed. When a soul is fundamentally shifted from a timeline of debilitating stagnation to one of divine acceleration, the transition is anything but silent. It is a full-body, full-spirit event. You are not just moving into a new chapter of life. Your entire energetic operating system is being upgraded to run on a processing speed you have never before experienced. In the coming days and weeks, you will experience a definite series of physical and energetic symptoms. Do not mistake them for regressions or fear them as enemy attacks. They are the undeniable signs of your spiritual engine roaring to life. They are the living proof that the shift is real and that it is happening inside your vessel right now. Recognize these symptoms for precisely what they are, the physical and energetic evidence of your upgrade to hyperspeed. The first and most powerful symptom will be a deep distortion in your perception of time. You will experience days that feel exhaustingly long, like weeks, and weeks that flash by feeling like a single day. Time will feel fluid, malleable, clay in your hands. This is the profound sign that you are disconnecting from the rigid, linear clock of the matrix, Chronos time, and syncing fully with Kairos, God's appointed, opportune time. You might glance at a clock and see it is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, yet your body and spirit will feel a bone-deep exhaustion as if it were midnight. You may have a significant conversation that lasts only 10 minutes, but it will feel like you downloaded hours of critical information. You may experience moments of inexplicable missing time where you cannot fully account for an hour or two because your consciousness was temporarily operating in a higher dimension to seamlessly integrate the new codes. This is a definitive sign that your spirit is moving faster than your physical reality. Your consciousness is already living in the victorious future that is rushing toward you. Do not fight this sensation. Surrender fully to the flow. Let your refined intuition, not the rigid clock, dictate your actions. Your internal, divine timing is now infinitely more accurate than any man-made device. The second symptom will be an intense, undeniable, and urgent urge to purge. This is not a gentle spring cleaning exercise. This is a non-negotiable spiritual eviction notice being served to every low-vibrational, non-congruent element remaining in your existence. You will feel a visceral, almost violent need to jettison old wardrobes that carry the scent of past sadness, dated papers from soul-crushing employment, and every contact in your phone that siphoned your vital energy. This must include your digital life, clearing out ancient email inboxes, unfollowing social media accounts that make you feel small or inadequate, and deleting photographs that anchor you painfully to a past that no longer serves you. This purge will also manifest dramatically in your diet. You will suddenly lose all taste for processed, heavy, dense foods and crave clean, high-vibrational nourishment, such as fresh fruits and raw vegetables. Your body intrinsically knows it cannot ascend while being weighed down by synthetic toxins. This comprehensive purge is not optional. It is a prerequisite for the immense blessings that are already en route. The universe cannot deliver your opulent new furniture if your sacred house is still filled with the useless junk of yesterday. Do not procrastinate. Be ruthless in your execution. Every item you release, every toxic connection you sever creates a powerful energetic vacuum that God is waiting to fill with something of a much higher, transformative vibration. The third symptom is a dramatic, fundamental shift in your sleep patterns and your dream life. You may find yourself waking up abruptly between the hours of 3 and 5 in the morning. This is not mere insomnia. It is a critical divine appointment. The veil separating the physical and spiritual worlds is at its most gossamer thin during these hours, and your spiritual counsel, your angels and guides, are downloading crucial strategic information, deep healing codes, and answers directly into your subconscious mind. You may wake up with a jolt, feeling an immediate surge of energy, your mind buzzing with perfect solutions to complex problems that have plagued you for years. Keep a dedicated notebook immediately by your bed. Write down everything that comes to you in these moments. These are not random thoughts. They are fragments of your divine blueprint being delivered. Your dreams will become incredibly vivid, lucid, and frequently prophetic. They will be filled with powerful symbols, meaningful conversations, and clear previews of events that will then unfold in your waking life days later. You may dream of flying, a classic sign of soul travel and rapidly expanding consciousness. You may engage in conversations with loved ones who have passed, receiving their direct guidance and unwavering support. Pay extreme attention. Your dream state is now a briefing room for your next mission. The fourth symptom will be what can only be accurately described as energetic vertigo. There will be unexpected moments where you feel a sudden, intense wave of dizziness, a persistent buzzing sensation in your body, or a feeling that your very cells are vibrating at an unnaturally high frequency. You might feel a strange heat emanating from your hands and feet, which are your primary centers for giving and receiving spiritual energy. You may experience a cool, tingling sensation at the crown of your head as your connection to the divine source is widened and strengthened. This is the physical manifestation of your light body being activated and upgraded. Your foundational DNA is literally being rewritten. Old, persistent karmic codes of lack, chronic suffering, and delay are being permanently deleted, and new codes of sovereignty, immediate abundance, and speed are being successfully installed. When you feel these profound sensations, do not panic or fear. Simply stop, take a deep, centering breath, place your hand over your heart, and say, I consent to this upgrade. I anchor this new frequency into my body with ease and grace. You are a biological vessel designed to carry a divine current, and the power is being radically turned up. The vertigo is simply your physical system adjusting to the new voltage. These are the necessary growing pains of your spiritual ascension. The undeniable proof that the promised change is not just happening around you, but is rooted deep inside you. A fifth symptom will be heightened sensory perception and an immediate, drastic social selectivity. You may begin to hear a high-pitched ringing or subtle humming in your ears, which is the audible sound of you tuning into higher, non-physical frequencies. Your sense of smell might become incredibly sensitive. You may start seeing shimmering lights or subtle orbs in your peripheral vision. This is not your imagination degrading. You are beginning to perceive the true energetic reality that exists just beyond the normal spectrum of limited human senses. Simultaneously, you will find small talk and superficial social gatherings to be physically draining and intolerable. Gossip-filled conversations that once seemed commonplace will now feel energetically toxic, like you are ingesting literal poison. Your acute need for solitude will drastically increase, not out of depression or withdrawal, but out of a profound need to integrate these powerful new energies. Your sovereign soul craves authenticity, and anything less will feel physically intolerable to your new, calibrated system. Chapter 3. The Cosmic Audit and the Karmic Invoice. This pre-Christmas acceleration is not exclusively about delivering blessings for you. It is also a critical, unavoidable moment of divine reckoning for others. You are about to witness the fallout when heaven executes a swift, surprise audit on the souls who deliberately misused their power and misappropriated spiritual currency. This is the great balancing of the books, the settling of all cosmic debts, and it will occur with the same breathtaking velocity as your personal elevation. The karmic laws of cause and effect are not gentle suggestions. They are as immutable and absolute as gravity itself. For a long, painful time, it appeared as if those who maliciously wronged you were getting away with their actions. They slandered your good name, aggressively blocked your essential opportunities, betrayed your sacred trust, and deliberately drained your energy, all while their own fabricated lives seemed to flourish and expand. This was an illusion designed to test your faith. They were not building lasting success. They were accumulating massive debt on a cosmic credit card with an impossibly high, compounding interest rate. And the bill has just come due. The collection process has been fully authorized. What you are about to witness is not personal revenge. You must maintain crystal clarity on this point. This is not about your human desire for them to suffer. This is about divine justice, which is impersonal, impartial, and utterly inevitable. It is the restoration of perfect order. It is an energetic recalibration of the entire universe. An uncorrected injustice creates a severe warp in the fabric of reality, and this acceleration is the force that snaps everything back into its rightful, aligned position. The energy they stole from you must be returned. The essential opportunities they blocked must be cleared and rerouted to you. The lies they meticulously told must be exposed by the clarifying light. This complex process is termed the karmic invoice, and it is being delivered to their doorstep right now. It will not arrive as a dramatic lightning bolt from the sky. It will arrive in ways that are far more personal, cruelly ironic, and entirely undeniable. It will manifest as the sudden, shocking collapse of the very things they built using deceitful, parasitic energy. Their false kingdom, erected on a foundation of lies and manipulation, will crumble rapidly. For the one who slandered your name in the workplace to get ahead, you will hear news of a sudden, deep investigation. An email they thought they had meticulously deleted will resurface. A conversation they had in secret will be overheard. A project they managed through outright deceit will fail spectacularly and publicly. The very platform they utilized to weaponize lies against you will become the stage for their immediate, undeniable public exposure. They will not be able to control the narrative because the truth, supercharged by this divine acceleration, moves infinitely faster than any lie. They will find themselves desperately explaining, frantically defending, and miserably backtracking. But the final verdict will have already been rendered in the court of public and spiritual opinion. This is the invoice for the words they weaponized against you. For the one who pretended to be your loyal friend while secretly working against you, the narcissist who fed on your light and celebrated your struggles in private, their supply is about to be cut off permanently and brutally. The acceleration of your glow-up, your visible, undeniable peace, your sudden success, your inexplicable radiance, will operate as a spiritual repellent to their parasitic energy. Your light will become so bright it will physically pain them to be around you. It will mirror their own emptiness back to them with unbearable clarity. They will lash out, try to create manufactured drama, or attempt one last time to pull you back down into their misery. But it will fail. Their mask will violently slip. Not just for you, but for everyone in their orbit. People will suddenly see them for exactly who they truly are. Their network of passive enablers will dissolve as the overwhelming truth becomes painfully obvious. This is the invoice for the energy they stole and the loyalty they profoundly betrayed. For the gatekeeper who deliberately blocked your professional path out of sheer jealousy or paralyzing fear of your potential, you will watch as their own gates slam shut. The position of power they guarded so fiercely will be abruptly taken from them. The influence they wielded will vanish into thin air. They will find themselves on the outside looking in, experiencing the exact same profound frustration and powerlessness they inflicted upon you. For the family member who continuously used your past against you and constantly reminded you of your every mistake, their own hidden skeletons will come tumbling out of the closet, forcing them to face their own hypocrisy. The universe operates with a perfect, poetic, and often ironic sense of justice, ensuring that the karmic balance is always restored with elegant precision. Each invoice delivered is meticulously tailored, specifically matching the frequency and magnitude of the transgression. Consider the individual who brazenly stole your intellectual property and paraded it as their unique creation. You will be given a front-row seat to watch their inevitable failure. They will be rendered completely incapable of executing the idea effectively or building any lasting structure upon its foundation, thus proving to the entire world that the spark of creative genius never resided within them in the first place. That idea, stripped of its original source energy, will begin to decay and stagnate under their stewardship, like a magnificent seed planted in barren, toxic soil. Simultaneously, a new, far more brilliant, and spiritually protected idea will effortlessly land in your lap and flourish instantly, blooming into undeniable reality. Your mandated role in this entire cosmic process is simple: to observe, not to gloat. To be a silent witness to the unfolding divine order, not to interfere or attempt to hasten the proceedings. Your hands must remain pristine and utterly clean. When the news of their sudden, inevitable troubles reaches your ears, a business failure, a relationship collapse, a loss of reputation, you are commanded to feel nothing but profound detachment. There must be no surge of vindictive joy, no debilitating pity, and certainly no smug declaration of "I told you so." You are simply required to acknowledge this event as the immutable law of the universe in action, the mechanism of consequence doing its job, and keep moving forward with unwavering focus. Becoming emotionally entangled in their downfall, even if through private celebration, will anchor you firmly to their low vibrational frequency and drastically slow your own divine acceleration. It is, quite simply, a spiritual trap designed to halt your progress. Your true vindication is not found in their suffering or demise. Your absolute vindication resides solely in your own continuous, swift ascension. While they are fully occupied dealing with the karmic collection agency, navigating the painful consequences of their choices, you will be preoccupied with stepping into the abundant blessings that were always destined to be yours. They are consumed with paying for the past. You are being forcefully propelled into your future. Let them go completely. Their story, the chapter involving you, is definitively over. Yours is merely beginning. Chapter 4. Navigating the Vortex of Favor. You have been activated. The spiritual timeline has been drastically accelerated. The cosmic audit is not merely planned. It is actively underway. Now arrives the most crucial phase of this entire transformation: your conscious, active, and precise participation. You are no longer merely a passive passenger strapped into a roller coaster ride guided by fate. You are now learning the sophisticated mechanics required to pilot a divine jet engine, capable of maneuvering through realities at the speed of light. The old, slow, and reactive ways of navigating your life, the habits of debilitating overthinking, the constant second-guessing of your own insight, the desperate seeking of external validation, and moving perpetually from a low place of anxiety and fear, are now utterly obsolete. They are far too slow, too dense, and too resistant for the hyper-accelerated reality you have now spiritually entered. To navigate this vortex of favor successfully and without friction, you must immediately adopt a strict new set of operational rules. This is your new, elevated assignment, and your strict adherence to these laws will precisely determine the spiritual altitude and material success you reach before the fast-approaching Christmas deadline. Failure to adopt these essential rules will manifest as the exhausting sensation of trying to drive a powerful car with the emergency brake violently engaged. You will feel the undeniable pull of forward momentum, but you will also experience the intense, frustrating friction generated by your own stubborn resistance and old patterns. The first rule is act on the first whisper. Your intuition, in this heightened state, is no longer a gentle, optional suggestion. It is a divine, precise command delivered directly from the high command. In this newly accelerated energy field, the very first thought, the immediate, undeniable gut feeling, the primary instinct you have about a new situation, a potential person, or a critical decision, that is the correct signal. It is a direct download from your higher self, pure and uncontaminated by the fear-based, historical doubt of your ego mind. The ego's voice is always loud, excessively complicated, and exhaustively analytical. It will relentlessly present you with 1,000 what-ifs, generating logical but fear-based reasons why the intuitive hit is impractical, risky, or perhaps foolish. That is a silly idea, the ego will sneer. What will people of your social circle think? The intuitive whisper, conversely, is quiet, elegantly simple, and flawlessly clear. It does not waste energy trying to explain itself or justify its knowing. It just knows instantly and fully. A key to spiritual discernment is this. True intuition feels profoundly peaceful, expansive, and energetically light, radiating a quiet certainty. This is true even if it is directing you toward a terrifying and dramatic change. Fear, conversely, feels constricting, intensely chaotic, and urgently pressurized. You must learn the distinct feel and texture of these two competing internal signals and bravely choose the whisper over the clamorous scream of fear every single time. The moment between receiving the divine guidance and taking decisive action on it must be collapsed to zero. If you feel a sudden, compelling urge to call someone, you must do it immediately, without subjecting the urge to tedious analysis. If a brilliant idea for a project crystallizes in your mind, open a document and start the creation that very second. If your gut screams that a person standing before you is not right for your energy field, honor that internal warning and create immediate energetic distance without needing any logical proof, lengthy deliberation, or a court case to validate your knowing. Hesitation is the absolute enemy of acceleration. Overthinking is an anchor that violently drops you right back into the slow, stagnant timeline you just escaped. In this new, high-frequency reality, your intuition is operating at the speed of light. Your human logic is still slowly running on obsolete dial-up internet. Trust the immeasurably faster, purer signal. The second rule is embrace radical detachment from the outcome. You are now planting seeds that are designed to sprout into massive, fruitful trees virtually overnight. However, you must not remain standing there, staring impatiently at the soil, demanding to know precisely how the universe is operating or when the fruit will appear. Your sole job is to follow the inspired action, to make the call, to send the email, to file the paperwork, to start the business. Once the action is taken and the energy is released, you must immediately and completely release the expectation tied to it. Let it go entirely. Turn your attention instantly to the next inspired action that presents itself. Clinging tightly to a specific expected outcome, or trying to micromanage and control the exact route by which the blessing will arrive, creates intense, counterproductive energetic resistance. It is the spiritual equivalent of placing a complex order with a master chef and then standing over their shoulder in the kitchen, dictating how they must season the meal. You placed the order with the universe, the infinite master. Now, get out of the kitchen and trust the master to execute the work perfectly. Your persistent attachment to a specific, limited result signals to the divine intelligence that you fundamentally distrust its creativity, its perfect timing, or its overwhelming intelligence. You are signaling that your small, linear mind believes it knows better than the infinite mind of God. True faith operating successfully within this accelerated vortex is simply taking the step forward without requiring the vision of the entire staircase. That majestic staircase is being constructed for you in real time, one solid step ahead of your advancing foot. Your unwavering trust is the essential, raw material from which the next step is instantaneously formed. The third rule is speak only in the language of done. Your words have now been powerfully weaponized for instant creation. The energetic buffer between what you articulate and what you physically experience has become paper-thin, nearly transparent. Therefore, you must ruthlessly eliminate all language steeped in lack, trying, hoping, or wanting. These conditional words signal to the universe that you are still operating from a perpetual state of not having. Stop saying, "I hope I get that job." Start declaring, "I am actively preparing to begin my new, expanded role." Stop saying, "I'm trying to heal this old ailment." Start affirming, "I am healed. My body is whole, vibrant, and restored." Stop saying, "I want more money." Start feeling profound gratitude immediately and saying, "I am so grateful that money flows to me easily, consistently, and abundantly." Speak of your desires and goals as if they are already settled memories of a past achievement. This is not delusional thinking. This is practical quantum physics in action. You are handing the universe the finished, perfected blueprint, not a rough, incomplete draft subject to endless revision. When creeping doubt invades your mind, when old, toxic patterns of negative self-talk arise, you must check them immediately and fiercely. Say the command, cancel, clear, delete. Acknowledge that that is the old programming from the expired timeline. The new truth is, and then state the definitive, vibrant reality you are consciously choosing. You are the sole, empowered narrator of your story now, and the universe is sitting patiently, taking dictation. The final rule is practice extreme self-care as a sacred duty. Moving at this unprecedented speed requires an enormous, sustained amount of spiritual, mental, and physical energy. You simply cannot run a high-performance, precision engine on low-grade, contaminated fuel. Self-care is no longer a frivolous luxury. It is a critical logistical necessity for the success of this mission. This translates into disciplined, non-negotiable sleep, even when your mind is racing with productive excitement. It demands hydrating your body rigorously with pure water, which is essential to help conduct the new, high electrical frequencies now flowing through you. It means spending substantial time in undisturbed nature to ground the intense cosmic energies you are integrating. Above all, it means being fiercely protective of your inner peace. You must learn the art of saying no instantly, without the paralysis of guilt or the need for lengthy explanation. Say no to draining social obligations. Say no to one-sided, energy-sapping conversations. Say no to anyone and anything that feels like a leech attached to your spirit. Your energy is your most valuable, non-renewable currency. It is the literal fuel source for your instantaneous manifestation. To squander it on activities or people that do not serve your ascension is to actively sabotage your own miracle in progress. Protecting your energy is not selfish. It is your primary act of worship and your most crucial strategic decision in this season of hyperspeed transformation. Chapter 5. The Great Unmasking of the Resistance. As your light brightens exponentially and your speed of ascent increases, a strange, uncomfortable, yet entirely predictable phenomenon will occur. Your rising frequency will inevitably trigger a deep, primal insecurity and fear in those around you who are operating from a place of deep shadow or stagnation. Your ascension acts as a powerful, unforgiving mirror. To those who are genuinely secure in themselves and courageously walking their own authentic path, your success will be a thrilling inspiration and a powerful confirmation of what is possible. But to those who are secretly riddled with chronic jealousy, deep-seated envy, and a stubborn victim mentality, your undeniable light will feel like a harsh, unwelcome interrogation. It will mercilessly expose everything they are not. It will brutally highlight the risks they refuse to take, the inner work they perpetually refuse to undertake, and the comforting lies they continuously tell themselves to justify their inertia. This phenomenon is the beginning of the great unmasking, and it is a necessary, albeit often painful, part of your journey into mastery. You are not actively causing this reaction. Your elevated frequency is simply revealing what was already there, meticulously hidden beneath a thin social mask of politeness and superficial support. The first type of resistance to be unmasked will be the friendly saboteur. This is the person who has been a fixture in your life for years, always offering a seemingly supportive word, always cheering you on from the sidelines. But their support was always conditional. It felt safe for them to support you only as long as you were visibly struggling, as long as you remained firmly on their level or preferably slightly below it. Now, as you begin to accelerate noticeably past them, their true, resentful nature will be instantly revealed. Their compliments will suddenly become sharp and backhanded. "Wow, you actually got that big promotion," they might say with a forced smile. They must truly have been desperate to hire anyone. Their expressed concern will be subtly laced with debilitating doubt. Are you absolutely sure you can handle that level of responsibility? Don't you dare burn yourself out. They will subtly try to plant insidious seeds of fear, anxiety, and self-sabotage into your consciousness because your soaring success makes them feel profoundly inadequate and exposed. They will inevitably bring up your minor past mistakes at the exact moment you are celebrating a new major victory. They are not genuinely happy for you. They are terrified by you because your demonstrated growth proves beyond a shadow of a doubt that their own inertia and stagnation is a conscious choice. Do not confront them or waste valuable energy arguing. Simply recognize the immediate energetic shift, quietly create distance, and allow their own spiraling insecurity to consume them without your input. Their mask has slipped. Believe what you clearly see. The next type to be exposed is the spiritual competitor. This is someone currently in your inner circle, perhaps even a figure within a spiritual community, who speaks fluently the language of light and love, but operates entirely from a place of aggressive ego and relentless competition. They viewed you as a comfortable peer, someone with whom to exchange lofty spiritual platitudes. But now that you are actively embodying true divine power and witnessing real, tangible miracles manifesting in your life, their spiritual ego feels desperately threatened. They will immediately start to subtly question your methods and your path. They will imply that your blessings are somehow impure, suggesting that you must be taking an unethical shortcut to success. They might passive-aggressively say things like, "True enlightenment is only about complete detachment from material things," in a calculated attempt to diminish your recent financial breakthrough. Or they will subtly compare their own supposed spiritual sacrifices to your seemingly effortless blessings. What they are truly asking is, why you and not me? They are permanently stuck in the theory of spirituality, collecting abstract concepts like trophies, while you have advanced to the actual practice and are collecting real-world, verifiable results. Their unmasking is a crucial lesson for you. Not everyone who eloquently talks about God is genuinely walking with God. True spirituality is silent embodiment, not loud, self-aggrandizing proclamation. Then comes the unmasking of the familial anchor. This manifestation of resistance can be the most painful and profoundly confusing. These are often family members or lifelong friends who genuinely loved the old version of you, the version that was predictable, easily controllable, and depended on them for validation. This was the version that fit neatly and comfortably into the established family dynamic of dysfunction. Your sudden, non-negotiable transformation, your new, firm boundaries, your complete refusal to play the old, toxic family roles. All of this will feel to them like a fundamental betrayal. They will accuse you of radically changing, of thinking you are superior to them. They will try to forcefully guilt you back into your old, small box. Remember where you came from, they'll demand, desperately trying to use your past to anchor you and stop your future momentum. You're not acting like yourself. You must find the deepest courage to simply agree, "You're right. I'm not. I'm finally acting like my true self." You must understand that this resistance is not fundamentally about love. It is entirely about control and comfort. They are not losing you. They are losing their control over you and the comfort derived from the predictable role you once played. The unmasking here forces you to make a choice between your divine destiny and your comfortable history. You must love them from a distance while you continue your ascent. This journey is you actively breaking a generational curse, and that is often a lonely yet profoundly heroic act. You must allow yourself the grace to grieve the loss of these old connections. The grief is a real, necessary cleansing fire. It is mourning the death of who you were required to be for them, and accepting that they may never get to know the magnificent person you are rapidly becoming. Do not feel guilty for outgrowing people. A seed does not feel guilty for becoming a magnificent tree and leaving the confining soil behind. This grief creates essential space for the new soul family that is already on its way to you. A family that will unconditionally celebrate your sovereignty, not fear it. Your job during the great unmasking is not to judge, but solely to discern. It is to be a silent, vigilant observer. Watch precisely how people's behavior changes as your blessings multiply. Listen keenly to the subtle, resentful shifts in their tone. Feel the energetic dissonance between their superficial words and their true, envious intentions. This process is not about creating a list of enemies. It is about curating your sacred, high-vibrational circle for the next mission phase. Acceleration demands an environment of pure, unconditional support. Any remaining energy of envy, competition, or resentment is a potent poison that can and will slow you down. The unmasking is a divine gift. God is showing you exactly who can and cannot come with you into your promised land. Thank the universe for the crystal clarity. Adjust your guest list accordingly and keep moving forward. The jet is taking off, and only those holding a ticket of pure intention can board. This is not an act of cruelty. It is an act of spiritual physics. Your new altitude requires a different atmosphere, one their density and resistance simply cannot survive. Chapter 6. The Grammar of Instant Creation. You have been officially promoted. You are no longer just a passive subject operating within God's kingdom. You have been granted a significant measure of creative authority. This represents a profound, irrevocable shift in your spiritual status, from being a player following the rules of the game to being an active co-creator of the game itself. The definitive evidence of this promotion is the alarming speed with which your inner world is now reshaping your external world. The lag time between your dominant thoughts, your spoken words, and their subsequent physical manifestation has been radically reduced. You are now living in a potent state of instant creation. What you think about with sustained intensity today, you will experience in some form tomorrow. This is an incredible power, but it is also an immense and non-negotiable responsibility. You must immediately become a master of your internal emotional state, for your reality is now a direct and immediate printout of your dominant energetic frequency. Learning the specialized grammar of instant creation is the final stage of your training before your pre-Christmas coronation. It is the final exam, and it is open book, with the book being your own heart and spirit. The first principle of this new grammar is that feeling is the new hustle. In the old, lower paradigm, you were rigorously taught to work hard, to grind relentlessly, to force things into being through sheer, exhaustive effort. That era is now over for you. That was the way of the slow world, not the way of the accelerated kingdom. In this accelerated vortex, the feeling you consciously hold and sustain is the engine of creation itself. Your primary work is no longer to do, but profoundly to be. Your main daily task is to consciously and deliberately cultivate the exact emotional feeling of your wish fulfilled. This level of focus is the highest form of spiritual discipline, demanding more focus and commitment than any physical labor ever could. Before you even physically get out of bed, your assignment is to truly feel the deep, abiding peace of having all your bills joyfully paid. Feel the warmth, stability, and safety of being securely nestled in your divine, perfect relationship. Feel the quiet confidence and deep satisfaction of walking into your new, ideal career. You must generate this specific feeling deep within your body, a radiating warmth in your chest, a gentle smile on your face, a noticeable relaxation in your shoulders, until it becomes your dominant, sustained state of being. This is not merely faking it till you make it. This is being the reality first on an energetic level, which then compels the physical reality to instantly conform. The frantic hustle was necessary only for the old timeline. In the new timeline, your vibration is your foundational work. If you find yourself slipping, even momentarily, into old, low feelings of lack or worry, your job is to immediately stop and shift your state. Put on music that uplifts you, watch something genuinely funny, go for a quick walk in grounding nature. Do whatever it takes to radically change your emotional state. This emotional hygiene is now your single most important daily practice. The second principle is that neutral observation is your superpower. As you begin to manifest at this new speed, both positive and negative things will appear quickly on your horizon. The world, in its testing capacity, will throw old illusions at your new power. You will suddenly see things designed to tempt you to revert to your old reactionary patterns of fear, anger, or despair. A sudden, unexpected bill, a vicious negative comment online, a piece of bad news on the television. The test is whether you will allow the external illusion to dictate your internal sacred state. Your superpower is the ability to observe these events without giving them any of your valuable emotional energy. See the unexpected bill and, instead of instantly panicking, calmly say, "Interesting. I know that my supply is infinite, and this is already handled by the universe." See the negative comment and, instead of getting defensive, say, "That is merely their reality, not mine." By remaining in a state of neutral, unreactive observation, you fundamentally refuse to power the negative manifestation with your fear. You treat it exactly like a dark cloud passing quickly in the sky. You acknowledge its presence, but you do not become it or fight it. You let it starve of your attention and disappear, while you continuously feed the positive reality with your faith-filled feelings. This is a form of spiritual martial arts. You do not block the negative energy with forceful resistance. You simply step gracefully aside and allow it to harmlessly pass by, unable to interfere in your own powerful creation. You are the immovable center, the serene eye of the hurricane, and the chaotic world simply revolves around you without ever touching your core. The third principle is the law of inspired action, not desperate action. While feeling is undeniably the primary engine, action is still critically required, but it is a fundamentally different kind of action. Desperate action originates from a place of chronic lack. It feels like a frantic struggle, like pushing a massive boulder uphill with immense strain. It is you desperately trying to make something happen. Inspired action, however, feels profoundly effortless. It comes from a place of deep fullness and absolute knowing. It is a sudden, calm, clear impulse that often makes absolutely no logical sense to the analytical mind. It will feel like the next easy and light logical step forward. It might be the sudden urge to visit a specific coffee shop where you happen to meet a key person, or the idea to search for something online that leads you immediately to a perfect opportunity. It could be the sudden, compelling desire to forgive someone from your past, which then immediately unlocks a massive blessing in your current life. Inspired action does not feel like difficult work. It feels like flow, like being pulled gently and effortlessly by a strong river current. Your only job is to get quiet enough internally to hear the precise inspiration and brave enough to act on it without any question or analysis. Let the universe handle the heavy, complex lifting. You just need to take the small, easy, clear steps it shows you. Mastering this new grammar, prioritizing conscious feeling, practicing radical neutrality, and taking immediate inspired action is how you stabilize yourself in this high-frequency reality. It is how you become a conscious creator, no longer a victim of circumstance. Many are granted this incredible power, but few learn to wield it with the necessary discipline. They allow a fleeting negative thought to manifest a bad day. They allow a single moment of fear to derail a miracle that was already in progress. You are being called to a much higher standard of mastery. Your inner world is now sacred ground, a creative studio where your entire new life is being instantaneously designed. Guard it fiercely. Keep it immaculately clean. For what you build in your vivid imagination today will be the physical reality you walk into tomorrow, just in time for Christmas. Chapter 7. The Pre-Christmas Coronation. The final destination of this divine acceleration is not a physical place or a material possession. It is a transcendent state of being. It is a profound internal event that will irrevocably change your external reality forever. This is your coronation. It is the moment, happening for you before Christmas Day, where you finally and fully step into your absolute spiritual sovereignty. This culmination is not about receiving a crown of earthly gold, but about the instantaneous activation of the divine authority and creative power that has always laid dormant within your soul. This is the singular, defining moment when the desperate yearning to be validated or chosen finally evaporates. You stop waiting for permission, having suddenly realized with startling clarity that you were the sovereign all along. You were merely subjected to an arduous, refining period of intense soul training conducted in desolate exile. This internal coronation is the magnificent culmination of every tear you shed in secret, every bitter betrayal you endured, and every moment of solitary, unwavering faith you held onto. It is the celestial announcement, the universe officially recognizing the king or queen you have painstakingly, privately become through fire and refinement. The immediate, tangible evidence of your coronation will manifest as the arrival of an expansive, profound, and utterly unshakable inner peace. This sensation will defy logic. It will settle over you even if the external structures of your life remain chaotic or have not yet seamlessly clicked into their final, perfect arrangement. It is a peace born from a deep, cellular, ancient knowing that everything is irrevocably handled, that you are profoundly safe, impeccably guarded, and divinely guided. The low-grade, constant hum of anxiety that served as your unwelcome companion for years, the tight, restricting knot perpetually lodged in your stomach, will simply, miraculously vanish. The frantic, exhausting need to micromanage outcomes, to frantically pre-plan for every conceivable contingency, will gracefully dissolve, replaced by a calm, powerful, and total trust in the flow of life. You will awaken one ordinary morning and the familiar, suffocating weight will simply be gone. You will draw a deep breath, and for the first time in what feels like forever, that breath will not be shallow or restricted by the vice grip of chronic stress. This is the peace that surpasses all conventional understanding, and it is the inaugural jewel, the most precious one, set in your crown. It is the unequivocal sign that you have fully surrendered to the divine current and have been deemed trustworthy enough by creation itself to manage the keys to the kingdom. This perfect peace is not a reward. It is your new, magnificent throne. It becomes the stable, unyielding foundation from which you will now effortlessly rule your reality. The second sign of your enthronement is the sweeping, undeniable restoration of your honor. This will begin to manifest externally in staggering, visible ways. Individuals who unjustly misunderstood you, those who carelessly slandered your name, or those who arrogantly underestimated your true capacity will be compelled, by circumstance, not by your effort, to see you in a brilliant new light. This vindication will occur without you uttering a single defense or lifting a finger in retaliation. A pivotal opportunity, so public and so clearly blessed by Providence, will arrive at your door, instantaneously silencing all past critics and naysayers. An undeniable truth will be brought to the light, vindicating your integrity completely and irrevocably. Figures from your distant past will suddenly reach out, not just to offer a perfunctory apology, but with a palpable shift in their tone, one of genuine respect, awe, and perhaps a touch of trepidation in their voice. They will instinctively sense that you are no longer someone they can easily manipulate, dismiss, or ignore. You will naturally carry an aura of grounded authority that effortlessly commands deep respect. This authority is not rooted in fragile arrogance. It is the natural, radiant byproduct of standing completely, unapologetically rooted in your full, God-given power. The entire universe will physically rise to defend your honor, broadcasting your new elevated status to the world through a series of stunningly synchronous and miraculous events. It will literally rearrange physical circumstances to publicly reflect your true, intrinsic divine value. Your name, which was once whispered with calculated malice, will now be spoken with profound admiration and reverence. Your life story will transcend mere anecdote. It will become a living testimony that inspires countless others, a powerful, breathing example of grace, perseverance, and ultimate vindication. The final and most overwhelmingly powerful aspect of your coronation is the seamless embodiment of your ultimate purpose. For years, you wrestled with the agonizing question, "What is my purpose?" You searched tirelessly for it outside of yourself, in demanding jobs, fleeting relationships, or exhausting self-imposed missions. The coronation is the moment the searching ends, the moment you finally realize that you do not have a purpose. You are the purpose. Your very existence, now healed, whole, and fully empowered, is your highest service to the world. The things you once perceived as your deepest, most debilitating wounds will suddenly reveal themselves as your greatest, most potent gifts. The deep, penetrating empathy you gained while enduring your pain will naturally become the bedrock of your ministry. The rock-solid resilience you meticulously built during your prolonged trials will spontaneously become your teaching. The profound, hard-earned wisdom gathered during your darkest nights will effortlessly become the magnificent light you instinctively share with others. You will stop the fruitless cycle of searching and simply start being. And from that state of sovereign being, your divine assignments will begin to flow to you with effortless ease. The right collaborators, the necessary resources, the perfect platforms will simply materialize, magnetically drawn to the radiant, activated light of your soul. You will no longer need to exhaust yourself chasing your destiny. Instead, destiny will actively come and find you. Your work will transform into your deepest play, and your entire life will become your living, breathing message. You transition from a frantic seeker into an abundant source. Your daily routine is now a masterclass in divine living, and your simple, powerful presence alone will activate and heal others, often without you even consciously trying. Understand this coronation is not a possibility. It is an active, irreversible process already underway. By Christmas morning, you will not be the same person who began this arduous journey. You will look into the mirror and recognize a sovereign ruler staring back. You will walk into any room and the entire energetic field will instantly shift to accommodate your new frequency. You will speak, and your words will now carry the unmistakable weight of creation and undeniable truth. The long, desolate winter of your soul is definitively over. Your magnificent reign has officially begun. The material gifts exchanged beneath the holiday tree will pale into utter meaninglessness compared to the astonishing gift of your own reclaimed, glorified, and fully realized self. This is the miracle you earned. This is the promise that is now due. And it is manifesting with breathtaking speed because your time, your true, destined time, has finally, completely arrived.